everyone. Welcome to our webinar. We'll be getting started here in just a minute. Welcome to our webinar, Volta Insurance Solutions powered by Appulate. I will be your presenter today, Vanessa Dulier-Camara, the Director of Customer Development here at Appulate, and I am joined by Adam Meyerson, the President of Volta Insurance Solutions.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Thank you for joining us.
Some quick webinar logistics before we get started. So we do have great attendance. We will make sure that everybody is muted so that we don't get feedback and background noise. But we do want to make sure that we hear from you. So we will have a Q&A session at the end where we will be able to answer all of your questions. In the meanwhile, there is a GoToMeeting chat or question section. You can head there and type in questions as you have them so you don't forget, and plug them in there. And again, during the Q&A session at the end, we will go ahead and answer all of your questions. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on our YouTube page, Appulate Inc., by the end of the day. So before we get into a deep dive into Volta's outstanding programs that are powered by Appulate, I'd like to just take a few moments to update you on Appulate. Appulate's network continues to grow rapidly. We now have over 30,000 agencies in network and hundreds of markets, making Appulate the place where agents, MGAs, and carriers do business digitally. And our commitment to you, the agent, is to empower you by expanding your markets, automating your workflow, and saving you time and money. So a little more on expanding your markets. For over a decade, agents have been using Appulate to streamline their submission process, and often agents would come to us looking for markets to place a part of their business. And it was really then that we realized that there is much more that we could be doing for our agents. So we decided to be a technology partner to program administrators that are looking to automate their quoting process and deliver it to a large network of agents. So now Appulate hosts a real-time rate quote request to bind experience for several markets, including Volta, meaning that you can get a quick quote or premium indication in just minutes. So how exactly do we automate the submission process? Well, it all starts with Uplink, which eliminates the need to rekey data. It bridges a core data from any agency management system. That's what makes us unique. We work with any agency management system or a core PDF, and it populates other forms, carrier portals, and the program administrator smart questionnaires within Appulate. It also eliminates the need for your markets to rekey information, making it a win-win. Now, Appulate is brought to you, the agent, at zero cost for our partnered markets, as the carriers, MGAs, and program administrators cover the cost so that you can do more business with them in an easier way. And now, not only is it free to use, but it can save you money too. Based on a recent survey we conducted on retail agents, agents are averaging about 40 submissions per month, and agents are saving about 37 minutes per submission using Appulate. This translates to an average of close to 1,500 minutes or over 24 hours saved per month with Appulate. In dollars, that's $593 per agent per month or over $7,000 per year. Now, without further ado, I want to introduce you to Volta Insurance Solutions, which currently has its rate quote request to bind platform in Appulate. It is free to use. And it can produce an instant quote or premium indication for you. In just a few minutes, we'll take you through a demo, but first I'd like to hand this over to Adam to tell you a little bit more about Volta. Adam?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. We're hoping that you guys get a lot out of today's webinar. So what you're looking at right now is our mission statement. But to sum it up for you, as a concept, Volta was envisioned as a company that would change the way commercial producers would interact with wholesalers. The industry standard to date is fragmented, time-consuming, frustrating, and void of any real automation. Producers have known the difficulties in dealing with traditional commercial wholesalers, yet they continue to use them because we provide a very important piece of the puzzle, which is access to markets and products that you would otherwise not have access to. In the world of InsurTech, what's special about Volta is not necessarily what we are doing, it's how we are doing it. Like a traditional wholesaler, Volta provides the same access to competitive commercial markets and products. However, unlike a traditional wholesaler, Volta also provides a unique technology platform powered by Appulate that enables our appointed producers to obtain premium indications in real time and bindable quotes in minutes. Thanks to this technology, our ability to have an exponentially accelerated turnaround time and our immediate attention to our producer submissions is what makes our offering so attractive. Our technology platform has added the elements of ease of use and efficiency in an area of the industry where it has been considerably lacking for some time. So our specialty consists of the standard commercial lines. Excess liability, work comp, general liability, business owners, cannabis, professional liability. Other lines such as emerging lines and excess liability, and excess and surplus lines, those are coming in the future as we build new products. As far as the kinds of carriers that we are seeking and or currently have partnerships with, admitted carriers, AM Best rated A or better, all with competitive rates, quality products, and a broad overall acceptance. So as far as the products that we currently offer right now, there's actually a couple missing on this slide, which I'm going to talk to you about. First, we have general liability that's offered to us through Atlas General Insurance Services, and then followed up also by property policies that we can also offer to you, business owners, standard business owners, as well as another company that we have, which is RLI Insurance Company, offering a home-based business owners policy. This is kind of a niche product for us. There's very few underwriting questions to actually answer where this one is concerned. The premiums are low. It's really a great product. Then up next, we have workers' compensation offered by Employers Insurance Company and Atlas General Insurance Services, package policies as well. We also offer professional liability and then excess liability offered through Topa Insurance Company. So as far as some of the industry examples, these are some of the industries in which we can help you place business. Artisan contractors, first and foremost, this is one of the most sought after industries or levels of acceptance within workers' comp or general liability. We can help you place this business. Cannabis for work comp only in the state of California. We can help with this business. Warehousing, janitorial, assisted living, wholesale, food and beverage. We are fabulous with restaurants. Automotive, we can do some towing, and then other professional occupations as well. So if you've got it, oil and gas, the high risk type stuff, we generally, it's not that we stay away from it. Some of our carriers are a little bit shy, but it is definitely, those are definitely risks that we can, take a look at to see if it's something that we can help place for you. So as you no doubt have already guessed, Q1 through Q3 2019, commercial property package, general liability, and business owners. Commercial property and package, we are already offering right now. So we got those two taken care of. General liability for cannabis and business owners for cannabis are on the way. We actually have, we're in the process of working with a carrier that will give us access to these lines of business if this is something that you write. So we're going to be one of the few out there that will have a direct appointment with a carrier so that we can offer this business to you. So what essentially do we provide? So using Appulate, our front-end technology platform is comprised of automated data entry, real-time quoting, instant bind requests, and same-day turnaround for issued policies. You no longer need to spend your resources in developing your own platforms for additional automation. Become an appointed producer with Volta, and the automation is free. So we do provide access to competitive products with A-rated carriers for each line of business that we represent. You'll feel comfortable with respect to where we're actually placing this business for you. So at Volta, because we're automating a lot of the manual processes that you are so used to, that in turn increases the efficiency in your office, which ultimately lowers overhead. So as a result, this will save you money. So in a nutshell, Volta offers a simplified user interface using Appulate's state-of-the-art platform. There's no haggling over guidelines or how long it takes to get a quote because it's instantaneous. If you get a quote, that's the rate, and you can bind it. You have the same-day turnaround on most bound policies. Not only do we provide competitive insurance products, our technology platform also provides automated front-end underwriting, instantaneous quoting capability, and bind requests all at the click of a mouse. No underwriters to call, talk to, or email, or wait for. We remove the roadblocks and unnecessary points of contact for a seamless, streamlined approach. Smart, efficient, and automated. So I think now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it back on over to Vanessa so that we can show you guys what all of this is about. So Vanessa, take it away.
Very good. Thank you, Adam. So yes, let's get into a live demonstration. I'm going to do that by pulling up my Accord form that I have completed here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Appulate works with any agency management system or Accord PDF. So you may have your Accord forms filled out, ready to go in your management system, and you can start there. Or if you have it in Accord PDF, as I have it here, you can certainly start from this as well. Now, before I get into this demonstration, I just want to mention that today we're going to be doing a workers' comp demonstration, but as Adam mentioned, Volta does not just do workers' comp. The workflow is exactly the same for each line of business, though. You'll just obviously have different Accord forms, different questions to answer, but the workflow, everything that I'm going to show you today, works exactly the same. So we're going to go ahead and Appulate it. In other words, we're going to print your completed Accord form to the Appulate Uplink printer option. If you have it installed on your desktop, it shows up as one of your printer options, and it takes less than a minute to install, and I'll go over that at the end during setup. So you're going to print your completed Accord form, again, from your agency management system or Accord PDF, and when you get this pop-up here, it'll store your Appulate credentials. So you just have to enter those once, and Appulate will keep those plugged in there for you. Here on this next page, it may ask you to confirm the line of business if the Accord form that you're bridging over pertains to multiple lines of business. So again, this is a work comp demonstration, so it got that right. We'll go ahead and click the continue button. And now we're going to make our way over into Appulate. So here we are in Appulate's Q&A section. We have the insured that was created and the line of business and effective date, which was created as well. Now, if this was an outdated Accord form, you can update any of the Accord information in Appulate very simply. You could, if it's the date, you could simply click on it, and we have a little calendar for you to choose from, and you can update that there. Any of the questions from the Accord form, or any of the answers rather, are bridged over into Appulate so that you can review them, you can make any edits, and you can answer any additional questions. Now, once we uplink our Accord form, the next step is to add the market. So we need to go ahead and hit the plus sign here under market name, and we need to locate Volta. So we'll select Volta, and down below Volta, you're going to see that instantly some sub-markets may pop up there. And on the right, you're going to see some instant estimated premiums if you bridged over an Accord form. So I'm going to toss this over to Adam for a few seconds to tell you a little bit about what these sub-markets are here for and the estimated premiums.
So for any given line of business, we may have multiple markets that can possibly offer a rate or a potential quote. What you're seeing here in this case is we have, for workers' compensation, we have Atlas General Insurance Services, which is stepping up to the plate, Employers' Compensation Company, and Employers' Preferred Insurance Company. So where Employers' Compensation and Employers' Preferred are concerned, yes, they are both employers. However, depending on any given risk, one may be more competitive than another, or one may accept the risk where another may not. So with that in mind, when it comes to actually submitting this to us for an actual quote, you can feel free to select the market that you want and just click on the submit button to the right, and it will submit that information to us. So as far as the individual markets are concerned, it really just boils down to acceptance and who's willing to write that particular policy.
Thank you, Adam. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on with this demo. I'm actually going to minimize this just so that I see more of my smart questionnaire here on my screen. Now, before I go in there and answer the rest of the missing and required questions, I want to point out this letter indication at the top of the page next to Volta, which actually lists any questions that are missing and required. And these are live links. So if you can't quite make out where that little red asterisk is, that's a required question, you can simply click on it and it'll take you right to it so that you can answer it there and continue on. So you can go through this section by section, answer the missing and required questions, and review, make any edits. Or if you prefer to just skip to the direct question that's necessary for the submission, again, you can always jump ahead to do that. Now, I want to point out that as soon as you answer all of the questions in the subject section, this estimated premium is exact. So unless anything changes here, you're going to get an exact premium. And that's, of course, here in the submarkets. All right, so we are going to jump over to policy because we can see that we have 3 more missing and required questions there.
Hey, Vanessa, if I could jump in real quick, one thing, back on the subjects page, one of the things that you should also recognize is that when you make changes to this page, the rates will change accordingly as well. So where it says payroll and rating, if you change the payroll, for example, from 30,000 to 90,000, you'll notice that the rate will actually jump up in premium as a result of it doing the corresponding calculations. So any changes that you do here will be reflected in the rate above.
All right, very good. So you can see that as soon as I change this, as Adam mentioned, those estimated premiums are changing. Everything in Appulate is in real time. All right, so over to policy. We just have 3 more questions left to answer, so we will do that here very quickly. Okay. And one last question in policy info. And Adam, did you have a few words to say about the options here?
When it comes to the individual payment plan options, depending on your policy premium is going to determine which one is available to you. So in this particular case, you have a 0 down precise pay or pay as you go. That one is available at policy sizes minimally $1,000 and higher. 10% down is available at $2,500 and higher. 30% down is available at $1,000 and higher. And then 100% down is available on every policy that is available.
Very good. So as we answer the last of the missing and required questions, the letter indication turns to a green A, and you now have a submit button that you can click on. So we will go ahead and click the submit button, and you'll notice that the status will change accordingly to submitted. And Adam has a few words to say about turnaround time.
So as far as what happens next, as soon as you click on submit, we get an email letting us know that there is a risk on deck waiting for a quote. So we, of course, go through it, do some preliminary underwriting, make sure it's all is good, and that we will submit it directly to the carrier. For the most part, we can have these turned around very, very quickly. Some of these, if it requires, let's say, a referral to underwriting, depending on the class code, may extend the turnaround time just a little bit. But for the most part, we get on these very, very fast, much quicker than any of your traditional wholesalers, so that we can turn around that quote to you and get your customer with a bound policy.
And some of your, sometimes you're even able to produce an instant quote. Is that right, Adam?
That's correct. That is correct. With our excess liability product, we actually have what's called an API already built. We're currently in the process of releasing the employer's API as well, to the point where as soon as you enter in the data, right underneath the carrier itself, it'll say, it'll actually show you a little line for the quote itself, and you can click on it and view the quote documents and everything you need. And if you want it, all you need to do is click on the bind button off to the right-hand side, and you can bind that quote. It gets sent to us. We receive the bind submission, and then we submit that to the carrier for binding. So with some of our carriers, we have the bind option available, the instant quote option available, as well as the bind capability. And what you'll see over time is that more and more of our products will offer this capability. Like I said, Employers is up next, followed up by Atlas General's GL product, and then we have a third, another one coming out very shortly that will give you the API instant bind capability as well. So all of these are coming very quickly. We're real excited about it.
Very good. All right. And you do not have to be appointed to submit to Volta Insurance Solutions. So if you're interested in taking a look at what that estimated premium is, or the instant quote even, you can go ahead and submit. And if you choose to move forward and request to bind at that time, you will be taken through an automated appointment process. However, should you wish to become appointed beforehand and take a look at what that looks like, you can do that from Volta's website. I'm sure Adam will share some information with you on that. And also within Appulate, once you have Volta listed as one of your selected markets, if you click on their name, there are appointment steps there as well.
When it comes to our website, all of your documentation as far as marketing materials, supplementals, and everything is available on our website right now. We've designed our website so that it has as much information as possible to give you regarding our company, so that you can either A, move forward with a new appointment right there on the very first page of our website. You can click on Get Appointed. It'll take you to the new appointment process. Or if you're looking for additional information or supporting documentation, you can refer to our website for that as well. As well as, one other thing, as well as a login to Appulate. You can click on Producer Login, and it'll allow you to log right into Appulate right from our systems.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam. All right. So we've showed you how easy it is to get your already completed ACORD form right into Appulate so that it plugs that information in. You just have to answer a few more questions. You get instant estimated premiums. You'll hit the submit button, and in some cases, you'll get instant quotes back. And if not, as Adam mentioned, the turnaround time is very quick there. Now, I also want to point out that some of you may not have access to ACORDs or may not have an ACORD form completed. And I just wanted to point out that you can always start directly in Appulate. You do not have to bridge over an ACORD form if you don't have one. You can also start by logging into Appulate, and this insured, all insured tab is the page that you get logged into, and at the very top there's an Add New Customer or Prospect button. You can go ahead and click on that and answer the information that it's asking here for. So name, you'll type in the insured's name and all of the other fields here, and then click the Continue button. Here on this next page, you'll choose the line of business, the effective and expiration date. It goes ahead and plugs something in for you for the effective and expiration date by default, but you can always change that very easily here. Click the Continue button, and you're back here in Appulate's Q&A section. So the process from here is the same. You'll choose Volta, you'll answer any additional missing or any of the required questions, and you'll click the Submit button, and you'll get that quote back pretty quickly from Volta. So if you do not have an ACORD form, you can also start directly from within Appulate. Now, one of the added bonuses there is that Appulate takes all of the information that you plug into the SMART questionnaire that you're filling out for Volta, and it populates ACORD forms for you in the background. So here in the Forms section, it will populate the ACORD forms for you so that you have access to those. All right, now let's quickly go over setup, and then we'd like to go ahead and answer all of your questions. So everyone that was invited to this webinar already has Appulate credentials. So go to appulate.com/sign-in and go ahead and type in your Appulate credentials here. If you don't ever remember getting a password, or if you've lost it, you don't remember what it is, there's a forgot password link here that you can click on that will have you reset your password so that you can log right in. If this invitation was forwarded to you, you can always click on the Sign Up Now process. So it takes just a few seconds to register for an Appulate account. So once you sign in, you will want to make sure that you have Uplink installed. That's so that you can bridge over your ACORD data if you have it. So if you want that, go to Tools and Appulate Uplink. Choose your management system from the drop-down menu. Again, Appulate works with any agency management system. So if you don't see it listed, you can always choose the other option and type out what your management system version is, and then click on the link to install. Again, this installs on your desktop in less than a minute. And if you've installed it successfully, then you will see it listed along with your office or your home printer, for example, as one of your printer options. So as soon as you do that, you also want to make sure that Volta is listed as one of your selected markets. Now, they should be, because you received this email invitation. So if you go to Markets and Selected, you should see Volta listed there. If you do not see Volta on your list, you could always go to Markets and Available, search for Volta, and click the plus sign on the right-hand side to add Volta to your list of selected markets. Now, one last thing, if you are the account admin, you can go to Setup and Users to manage the users. So you can deactivate users and add new users, all from within this page. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to take us back to our slides here. We are going to open it up for a Q&A session. And while I answer those questions, I'm actually going to leave Adam's contact information up on my screen in case you want to jot that down, in case we miss any questions, or if you think of any questions after the webinar, please feel free to reach out to Adam. All right, so we have quite a few questions that have come through here. Let's go ahead and answer those, Adam. The first one here is, do you work with PEOs and PEO brokerages?
We can, if they're looking for access to our markets, absolutely.
Wonderful. The next question here is, if your management system allows for adding extra questions, which will print on separate pages, will Appulate capture those? That's a great question. So Appulate is going to bridge over anything that's on an Accord form. How do you add different carriers to Appulate individually, as my system does not give me the info at the drop-down section? So you'll need to make sure that when you're logged into Appulate, you're not logged into a company-specific URL. So you need to be logged into appulate.com instead of, volta.appulate.com or any of our other customer extensions. So log into appulate.com, then go to Markets and Selected, as I showed you earlier, and you will see all of the markets that you've chosen to work with in Appulate. If you're logged into appulate.com, you will also have the option to see Markets and Available, and then you can go through that list and add your markets. How do we get you work comp loss runs? That's a great question. Let me go back into Appulate. Adam, feel free to comment on that, but I'll show it as well as soon as I get back in there.
There's actually a couple different ways to do it. If you want to email them to us, you most certainly can. You can email it to us at producers@voltainsurance.com to info@voltainsurance.com, and all you got to do is reference your the policy or the quote that we are working on for you. The other way to do it is to do it right here in Appulate. So what you could do is you could log directly in to the quote that you had submitted to us. Then on the left-hand side, you click on the loss runs button. And provided also that you have, I think, there you go. Click on Edit Insurance History, type in the market, click on Save.
And then on the right-hand side, you will have a upload file icon, so you can browse your computer and attach all those loss runs. There's no need to resubmit. There is no resubmit button. Just upload everything here, and Adam can access those in real time.
Makes it real simple.
A few other questions here. Just give me a moment to get back there. I noticed that Atlas is not even offering a price. Does that mean that they do not accept the risk? If so, where can I see the reason of rejection?
You'll actually see, in this particular case, it shows not quoted. Some of the questions that are in, for any given risk, there are certain questions that are required to be answered. And in this particular case, it should be asterisking them, but I have to figure out why it's not. I'd actually have to look into that to figure that out, but that's probably a pretty quick fix. Most of the time, when it comes to any one of these small things, they're really quick fixes. So, but under normal circumstances, you do see your estimated premium right next to it.
Thank you, Adam. Next question here, going back to loss runs. What if all loss run years are in the same one PDF? Not a problem. Let's go back in here really quickly. So back in Appulate, when you click on Edit Insurance History, you'll still have to type in the market here for each year. You can simply copy and paste it and type in the insurance number, and then you can just simply upload that single file. Back to our question section. All right. How do we get you the work on class loss runs? We already touched on that one. I don't see the available market option under the markets tab. So that is because you may not be logged into Appulate.com. So at the top of your page in the URL, it should just say Appulate.com. And if you need further assistance with that, you can always email support@Appulate.com. All right, last call for any questions.
None at all?
All right, I think we have finished our Q&A session. On behalf of the entire Appulate team, I'd like to thank you all for joining today, and I'm going to toss this back to Adam for some closing words.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. If you do have any questions, feel free to contact me through my contact information that was on the page. Just so that you are aware, we are looking to appoint new producers. We would really love to be able to give you the opportunity to view our rates and do business with us. We think that doing things this way will have a dramatic effect on the return of this business, how quickly you can get it back, and the overall experience for yourself and your customers. So I hope that we see some of you guys requesting to get appointed. You can go to our website to get appointed. Just go to voltainsurance.com and click on the new appointment icon right there on the main screen, which will allow you to start the new appointment package right there on through DocuSign and submit all your information. And we would love to get you appointed. Any questions you have, please feel free to let us know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.